Hi everyone, welcome to another amazing video on this channel. And in this video I'm going to show you how to build a simple digital clock using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So the code editor I'm using for this video is the VS Code editor, and in here I've created 3 files for this video. So the index.html, the index.js and the style.css file. So we're gonna be using these files a lot in this video. So let's go ahead and initialize this boilerplate for this HTML, and I'm gonna set this title to digital clock because that's exactly what we're gonna be building in this video. So let's set it to digital clock. And next thing we're gonna do is to link our CSS file to this HTML. So let's link it here, and the CSS file is style.css. So next, let's just link our JavaScript file here. We're gonna do a script tag, and then you'll see index.js. So save this, and next, all we need to do now is to create a div with the class of clock. So say div.clock. And yeah, it's done. Let's save this file. So let's just preview this in our live server. So and here you can see there's nothing here at the minute, but we're gonna code and you're gonna see the differences. So let's just open up our console and reload this. Yeah, so let's go ahead and code. So next we need to reference this div with the class of clock in our JS file. So let's go there and create a new variable. I'm gonna call that variable I'm gonna call it clock. And now we're gonna set it equal to document.query selector. Now we're gonna reference that clock class and we're gonna say dot clock. Now let's end this with a semicolon. Yeah. So the next thing we're gonna do is to create a function that will be responsible for updating the time on that digital clock every second. So let's go ahead and create this function, and let's call this function tick. So like a clock ticking. And it's gonna be an arrow function, and there'll be nothing here at the minutes. So that's done. The next thing we're gonna do is to create a new date object and store it in a variable called now. So we're gonna create a variable inside this tick function, and it's gonna be called now. It's gonna be storing the new date object. So let's create a new variable here. I'll call it now, and we'll set it equal to, we'll say new, and so the new date objects, and this with a semicolon, and let's save this. So we'll be calling this function every second, this tick function every second, so it can create a new date object. A new date. So we've created this new date object. So we want to be calling this function every second, so it can create a new date, and so every second from that date object we can get the hours, the minutes, seconds, and update the browser with this information. So the way we do this is by using the set interval method. So in JS we have this set interval method, and this is gonna take this tick function, and here we're gonna specify how often we want this to be. So we're gonna say every 1000 milliseconds, which is a second. So and this with a semicolon, and let's save this. So now we can get the hours, the minutes, and the second from this new date object we created over here. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're gonna call this variable. We're gonna create a new variable and we'll say hour. So we want to get an hour from these date objects, and now let's set it equal to now. So now is this variable over here that stores the new date object. I'm gonna say now dot get hours, and this is gonna get it to hours in that day. So let's save this and let's go. Now let's log this to the console to preview. So say console.log, I'm gonna specify this page and save this file. Now let's go over to the console, and now you can see over here, you can see it says, so this is the 4th hour. So it's 4 a.m. here on my PC, so it gets the 2 hour in that day. So let's go ahead and get the minutes and the seconds. So let's go ahead and define a new variable, and here we're gonna set it equal to m. So m is for minutes. I'm gonna say now dot get minutes. Now let's log this to the console. So let's save this. Now let's go. Now you can see the minutes here. Now you can see this function is being called every second. So every second is being called. So let's go back and get for the seconds. So let's say constant, we'll call this s and set it equal to now dot get seconds. Now log this to the console. Let's save this now. And now you can see it gets second, and every second it updates. So you can see it says 54, 55, 56, so on and so on. So every second the digital clock is going to be updated with that information. So instead of logging this to the console, what we can do is output this to the browser. So we need to create some kind of HTML template to inject it into the clock over here and in the HTML. So we're gonna inject it over here in this clock here in the HTML. So let's go ahead and let's get rid of this over here. And now we're gonna create a new variable and call this variable HTML. And now we're gonna set it equal to the template string. So we're gonna use the backticks. So and in here, so let's create this HTML template. So we're gonna do a span tag, and then the $sign and the curly braces. I'm gonna reference to this of our variable over here. And now let's close this span. Yeah, so we're gonna duplicate this. So using VS Code or Shift and down, and let's do this again. So for this, we've got the hour. Now here gonna be the minutes, and here it's gonna be the seconds. So save this. So now this is being created. So we're gonna find a way to inject it to our browser over here. So it's gonna be showing in here in our browser. So since we've already referenced this clock class over here, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna say clock, and we'll say dots inner HTML, and we're gonna set it equal to this HTML variable created over here. So clock dots inner HTML. Oh, sorry, I misplaced HTML. And now let's save this and preview. And now you can see this is being injected into the browser. You can see it's now more looking like a digital clock. So but now I want to put some kind of colon in between here and here, so it's gonna look So all we can do is just over here can put a colon and space, and here to a colon and space, and let's save this and let's go. And you're gonna see, if I should zoom in this now, you're gonna see it's more looking like a digital clock. So this clock is on its way to be done. So all we need to do is to apply some kind of styling, so to make this clock look nice. So let's do that in our CSS file. So here in our CSS, we're gonna style this clock over here. So this class of clock over here, we're gonna style it in our CSS file. So all we need to do is say dot and clock, and with this curly braces and so in here we're gonna style this clock now. So the first thing we need to style is the color. So let's style the text color and let's set it equal to red, so something visible. And so next thing we're gonna do is the margin. I'll say the margin 200 pixel and auto. So next we need to style the font size. So I want the font to be a bit larger. So let's style the font size, and let's say the font size, and now we're gonna say it's gonna be 50 pixel. Now next what we need to style is the border. So let's give it a border radius of 10 pixel. So let's see border radius, here it's gonna be 10 pixels. So next we need to align the text to the center. So say text align, and let's say it's gonna be to the center. So let's save this now and let's preview this in our browser. So over here you can see, so let me close this console over here. It's looking a bit nicer. So you can see our digital clock is set. So I want to do one more styling. So let me just style the body. So let's go at the beginning of this CSS file, and over here let's call that body, and down here let's set the background color to black. So we want the body to have a background color of black. So let's preview this in our console, and you can see this digital clock now is set. So it displays the hour, the minutes, and the second, and this updates every second. You can see if we should wait a bit, and this should enter 60 seconds, and you can see it should change to 27, and you can see it's over here. So this is a way to build a digital clock using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I hope you get everything with it in here. So in here we created this HTML, div, the div inside this HTML file with a class of clock, and in our JavaScript file we reference that clock here, and we created a function for the digital clock, and here we injected it into our browser. And here we created this set interval method where we say for every 1 second I want it to update this on the browser. And in our CSS file over here we styled the background color to be black, and the clock we did all the styling, the text red, the margin, font size, border radius, and text align. So all this was to make the digital clock look a bit nicer, so you can input whatever styling you want to make it look more nice. But this is just a basic way to build a digital clock. So I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone, and please, if you're new to this channel, please like, subscribe, and share our videos. Thank you.